All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Kevin Foss. I'm up in Washington State in the U.S. I do mountain bike ministry and also coach as well. And man, just thinking about a story. My story started years and years ago through an action sports ministry, and then being a youth pastor for 12 years, and then back into kind of action sports ministry, specifically mountain biking from there. And when I started, I had a lot of ideas and plans, and that kind of got me off the couch and starting to do kind of the new phase of ministry. And God quickly took all of those and just, shut the door and threw them out the window. And I was left with the question of, well, what do I do now? And in my community, we have really good mountain bike trails. So it'd be like having a great skate park, but one where nobody ever shows up at the same time. And so there was really no community. And so, I started looking at, well, how do you build community in mountain biking? And there's a lot of service of, creating trails, keeping trails working well. And so it really came down to mountain bike community is built through trail building and access, group rides, like people getting together and riding together, racing, and then like helping people learn how to ride and do the sport. And I was coming from a background of trying to get adults around teenagers as a youth pastor, and started trying to get adults around kids mountain biking, and figured out that they kept coming back not able to go to work the next day because they'd get hurt. So I started learning how to teach mountain biking in order to make sure the adults could go and not get hurt. And as I looked at building community in mountain biking, I realized that just serving in that way of helping, teach people and coaching was a huge part of developing that community. And what has happened is, instead of me running the programs and doing ministry like I was used to as a youth pastor, God's really done a whole different thing with it, where I do a lot more of just engaging people and bringing them into that community. And then the ministry happens through that community. And it's mixed faith. It's not all Christians, but there's a lot of Christians that, are intentional about loving people in that community. And the best example, there's been a few really good examples, but there's one going on right now where back in mid-February, one of the coaches on our youth team came and said, "Hey, I'm really going to need some support. I just found out my wife's been cheating on me for years, and it looks like we're going to get divorced. She doesn't want to work on anything." And so, right after that came all these restrictions and things starting to shut down, and people not able to, go and be together as much. And yet we were still able to do stuff kind of one-on-one or like in small groups here and there. And so I just have seen that community surround him. And last night I was even chatting with him and said, "Man, I feel like it's been too long since I checked in with you." And he sent back a message that I want to kind of read off. He said, "Man, God uses all my friends in different capacities at different times. You have great timing and are essential," right? Like, and just that idea that like I can't be enough for him. I can't be there enough, but when I'm not able to be there, there's somebody else that God's prompting to check on him and to be with him and walk with him. And it's just really made me think about how, what is ministry and where I want to be the one going and talking with someone. I've just seen God do so much through building a community that then surrounds people, and even seeing how some of the non-Christians are supporting people really well, and have so much to give, but then that opens up conversation with them as they're dealing with a Christian that's struggling and wrestling through life in that way. And so anyway, that's kind of my story, is just been blown away at how God's been working in community and not just through me and what I can do in my time.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for sharing.